Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, I have been a practicing member of ISKCON for many years. ISKCON is quite well known in today's times, isn't it? Yes. So you must be aware that in ISKCON we always greet people by saying Hare Krishna. Hence, when we open any conversation, we start any conversation or open up any discussion, we always say Hare Krishna. And we got so used to saying Hare Krishna that we wait for the audience to respond with Hare Krishna too. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like in India, if you say Namaste to someone, you expect them to say Namaste back. So when we say Hare Krishna, it is also a kind of greeting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Some prayer. Oh, before that, would you also like to follow the prayers that I'm going to recite? So you'll have to take out your smartphones. Do Google search. Search for Om Ajnana Timirandhasya. OM space AGNANA space TIMIRANDHASYA. Om space Ajnana. Did you get that? Did you get this? The very first option that comes up, click on it, you'll have that prayer. And there will be a series of prayers after that. Okay? So, when I recite those prayers, my personal choice is there on this phone, right? Okay, if that is how you want to do it, we'll do it. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuram militam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Apitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve. Everyone's got it? Still searching. Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद द्वैत गदाधर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna. So whenever you want, you can always refer to these prayers. Okay? They have a lot of benefits. If you recite these prayers sincerely, a lot of benefits to these prayers. So today, I'll try to discuss what should be done when we open ourselves to spiritual discussions or spiritual enlightenment. First of all, it is important to understand the nature and existence of spirit. Like, let's say somebody's identity is of a particular gender, a particular ethnicity. Let's suppose that is their identity, that is who they feel they are. For example, if in India you tell someone that you are tanned, and this word tanned is not considered to be insulting. Otherwise, there is another word in India that you could use for it. Yes? Like once a child asked someone, why is that person so dark? Dark skinned. In India, if you tell someone that you're dark skinned, then immediately be offended. But if you tell someone you're fair skinned, they'll feel that you're the best friend. Generally speaking, in the generic sense. Now you come to Scandinavia, not Scandinavian countries, sorry. No, Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, or maybe here. If you look at the ethnically white people, if you tell them you look pale, they'll feel offended. You're so pale skinned. But you tell them you've got a fine tan on you. They'll be very happy. Right? So if you shuttle between India and here, you have to always change your understanding of what is offensive and what is acceptable. Correct? If somebody from here goes to India and says, my God, the people here are so beautiful, they're all dark skinned. Like, what? And somebody from India comes here and they say, oh, everyone is so, you're all fair skinned. And I'm like, no, you're not pale. So understanding spirit is important. Like somebody may be offended if you call them a North Indian. In certain circumstances, somebody may be offended if you call them a South Indian. Now here the word desi is acceptable. You go back to India and say Hamsawan. Everyone there calls us desi. It has another connotation, being desi. Like desi ghee. Rural. But here, yeah, we went for a party, there were a lot of desis there. The reason I'm trying to put forth this examples is there's so many ways we get confused with our identity, and somebody who can navigate through, through such situations where they can easily adapt to the cultural or ethnic needs. Maybe it is felt that those people are very good at interpersonal relationships. Whatever it is, spirit is that which helps you or which gives one the opportunity to interact with that which is outside of you. Therefore, spiritual or being spiritual has to be a very, or needs to have a very thoughtful approach. I have been in situations where there is a few people around me and somebody says, in our family, everyone is very, very religious. Good. But what if someone has a comeback to that? So what do I do about it? If in your family everyone is religious, what do I do about it? Then we realize how irrelevant it is. How irrelevant that statement was. When I say that I am very religious, what is the relevance there? Just like somebody says, no, generally whenever I'm in a good mood, I talk very sweetly. So, what is the relevance of that? If you're at the reception desk, there is a relevance. If you're hosting an event, there is a relevance to it. But in a completely non-specific situation, environment, making a statement like that, its meaning may be lost. So similarly, I am very religious. Is it meaningful, or is a statement when it is made, the meaning is lost? No, every day, I do not even go out of my house without doing my puja worship. So how does it make sense? Because somebody will have a comeback to it. But if you just remember once in your mind or your heart, that is enough. That is a comeback people come with. So being spiritual is only substantial if we actually invest in our existence as spirit. I try and repeat that statement again. Being spiritual has substance only when one uses one's resources to invest in the idea that I am spirit. Otherwise, it can be a very, very superficial encounter that we have in life with our own spiritual existence. Today, I think I have a lot of Hindi crowd here. Day before yesterday, I had Telugu crowd. So I have a Hindi comeback for you. Telugu people understand good Hindi. Actually, sometimes they do well in Prathamika and those exams. What is it? What are those exams? Yeah, those. I forget. Long. Investing. हम जी मतलब भगवान का नाम लेकर ही कुछ खाते हैं, तो भगवान ही सब कुछ है हमारे लिए। अच्छी बात है इसमें। This is not a eureka moment. I mean, we may feel it's a eureka moment. Eureka moment, like suddenly you realize, oh. It's like saying, I can breathe through both my nostrils alternatively. So, I have good hearing in both of my ears. You're supposed to have good hearing in both of your ears. Similarly, as a human, we are supposed to invest in our existence of being a spirit. We're supposed to do that. However, if we use our senses just to display some decorations, that's not the primary usage of our senses. For example, if we use our ears for attaching some decorations to our ears, kundal, rings, earrings, that's not the primary purpose of ears or the external ear, is it? The external ear is supposed to collect the sound waves and reflect it into these holes so that it can hit the eardrum. So as humans, we don't really have that ability, but if you look at animals, they actually, when there is sound, they try to move their earlobes. It's like a radar or a machine, that a photosensitive machine would try to move towards where it can get more light to fall on it. So the primary purpose of being spiritual is not rituals. The primary purpose of spiritual is to be spirit. Like you can tell people that, oh, today, that was very nice. The word spiritual is divided into spirit plus ritual. Spirit. What is spirit? Spirit in our existence right now, each of our existence right now, is that entity which distinguishes between healthy and not healthy. It is a spirit that distinguishes. Because if this body is unconscious and consciousness is subdued, if this body is not having consciousness, it is dead, then this structure here would not be able to distinguish between healthy and unhealthy. Now, if I want, I can use big words for that. You know what a big sound? Like really heavy sounding words. Spirit is that which helps you distinguish between dharma and adharma. Now everyone is very serious. Oh, that makes sense. Then now define what is dharma, what is adharma. Oh, dharma is that which is dharma. You don't know dharma. Anything which is not dharma is adharma. So easy to define. But at one point of time, these words were very much a part of the vocabulary of society. Today, they are not a part of the vocabulary. Today's vocabulary has words like healthy and unhealthy. Who can distinguish between healthy and unhealthy? Spirit. Now, if the spirit is not able to do that, when the spirit is actually trying to subdue its default nature. When the spirit tries to subdue its default nature, that is called as illusion or moha. It's all right, चलता है. भगवान तो देखते हैं कि आप अंदर से क्या सोच रहे हो. भगवान को और कोई काम नहीं है. बस बैठ के देख रहे हैं ये अंदर से क्या सोच रहे हैं. Just imagine you have somebody that you have put on a pedestal as the most worshipable object of the entire universe. And what kind of job definition, description are you giving to that person? Mujib just has to sit there and monitor what is our internal emotions. Isn't it weird? And that is all. So, because I know, and that supreme entity knows, that everything is all right. It is not all right. It is not all right. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Arjuna is like, I know Krishna, this is what is supposed to be the principles to be followed in society. You agree with me? He's like, yeah, you should agree with me. Krishna is like, oh, where have such impurities come onto you, Arjuna? Hence, we have been advised to do something every day. As living entities, we means those who follow the Vedic tradition, also the Sanatana Dharma, they have been advised to do an activity every single day, preferably 3 times a day, or at least once. What is that activity? What is the activity? 3 times a day, if not 3 times, at least once a day. Oh, nice. Yes, yes. Chanting 3 times a day, if not 3 times a day, at least once. Smarana 3 times a day, if not 3 times a day, at least once. Any other? Meditation 3 times a day, if not 3 times a day, at least once a day. Okay. Anyone else would want to give their opinion? Any other opinions? Sorry? Offer bhoga at least 3 times a day, at least we eat. If you're not eating, at least once a day. Okay. All right. Any other opinions? At least 3 times a day. I mean, if not thrice, at least once is just me telling you. It's not that it has been recommended there. Lighting lamps 3 times a day, if not thrice, and at least once. At least once. So, should I share my opinion? Yes? Taking a bath. Have you found any other community stress so much on at least once a day? You have to take a bath. Right from the Himalayas down to the Southern Ocean, right from Hindu Kush to what is that? No, where you get the Chandan forests. I forget the word. East, west to east. You go anywhere. They're like, you have to take your bath today. Is it true or is it not? Which other culture we have found so much emphasis on that? Think about it. Do you think it is just a very ordinary activity that is stressed on? No. And presently it's at least once a day. There's no recommendation of at least once a day. At least wherever such recommendations given in those books, it's not once a day. It is supposed to be 3 times a day. Okay, 3 times a day. At least 3 times. You could do more, but then you fall sick. That is also what they say. Once a day. Bathing. What is the purpose of bathing? Clean yourself. Why? You know the statements, people bring those banners and placards. Cleanliness is next to, and there will be cobwebs gathering on that. Dust would be just on that plate after some time. What does cleanliness mean? What is this bathing process? Because in Sanatana Dharma, the idea that one can very easily, very easily, because of certain characteristics, because of certain impetuses, just desires, one can very easily become unclean. Very easily. Is it difficult to become unclean? So they would specify at least once a day take a bath, so that you know that if this idea has not been put into our consciousness, we will live in a very unclean state. Like weekend Today we'll take bath in the afternoon. Is it really? I mean, is that needed? No, one can easily wake up in the morning, take a bath and go back to sleep, take more rest for the weekend. No, we want to push that. The idea of being clean takes a lot of effort. One has to work on it. Hence, in the Gita Mahatmya, this idea of cleanliness has been introduced as the first step, trying and understand how the Bhagavad Gita enlightens you. Clean. Why? Because having all of the values that we cherish challenged is much easier than we think. Our values are so easily dismantled that it is scary. For example, teaching the children to bow down and take blessings from elders. In Sanatana Dharma, what do you teach the children? Touch their feet. No one has any idea why. Somebody in a humorous way said that then you never have back pain. The back is very flexible. If you do that every single day, it's an asana. It's actually true, but it can be very humorous. Imagine a joint family, at least for some years of your life, you have to go around taking blessings from each one of them every single day. Your back will be so flexible. Values. This is a good value, or this is a value that is cherished. Okay. So you teach the children. Sometimes the child does not understand, so you tell the child, do it properly. Isn't it? पूरी तरह झुको. Now when we do it as adults, to elders, do you think हम पूरी तरह झुकते हैं? कितने बार झुके हम लोग पूरी तरह? Maybe 2 out of 5 times, 3 out of 5 times. And if somebody points out, you should bend down all the way, you're like, doctors told me. It's difficult. I'm doing some asana. Very soon I'll be able to do it. Values get challenged. You go back home, you say namaste to everyone, and suddenly it's one of them, maybe the mother, the father, maybe the elder brother, someone. Forgot me, हमें भूल गए. आपको कैसे भूल सकते हैं? Now, if you cherished our values, you would have looked out. Hey, I'm missing out. Just as you look at the bank accounts, in stocks, do you think one day a stock where you invested will come in? हमें भूल गए क्या? Will that happen? Why? Because you value it, you cherish it. So the idea of uncleanliness is not as rare as you think it is. the idea of becoming unclean is very, very widespread, and hence in Sanatana Dharma we are told to take a bath. Because when you take a bath, it is not just the physical body that you put under a shower. If proper training has been given, I mean, in such cultures, practically your Mangala happens right there. You know what is Mangala? The morning prayers. Practically, if you do it properly every day in the morning, the training is that you recite all of your prayers as you're taking bath. When was the last time we did it? We don't. The reason is not just the physical body, but your mental body also needs to be clean. That is the value that is inculcated in Sanatana Dharma. Because every day is from morning to evening, it is not just the physical body that gets unclean, the mental mind gathers much more unhealthy objects than the physical body. If every day, as one is having one's bath, one should not be singing what is it called as? One should not be a bathroom singer. That's the word that's used. क्या गाने थे पहले के, अकेले हैं तो क्या गम है, चाहे तो हमारे बस में क्या नहीं. You're singing that in the shower. What about Ram Raksha Kavach? Only during puja time. But in Sanatana Dharma, the idea is when you perform an activity for the physical body, if it has some symbolic meaning for the physical body, if it has a direct beneficial effect on the physical body, trust it that there will be a way, there will definitely be a way through that very principle to address your subtle body too. For example, if you are taking the lamp and you are doing this action, with this action you'll be chanting some prayer, some song, spiritual song, where somewhere or the other there will be the mention that please light up our life with a lamp of knowledge or blessings. No one pays attention to that. Everyone pays attention. How do you do it? ऐसा नहीं, पता नहीं पंडित जी कैसे कर रहे हैं, ऊपर करते हैं, नीचे करते हैं. Very few people pay attention to the prayers that are being recited. So the physical activity is being done, but there is no impetus been given to the subtle body. Subtle body is on its own journey somewhere. And then today's society, values have been lost. Today's society, no one cares for anyone. Because we are not investing in our existence as spirit. We're just investing in our existence as the material body. Hence in the Gita Mahatma it is said, Maline mochanam pungsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrat kitamritam snanam samsara malanashanam. That sounded like an ancient language, if not an alien language, isn't it? Ah, something in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is so beautiful. Sanskrit is not meant to be addressed as beautiful. The Sanskritam. It is the idea of Sanskrit is that you accept good values, sanskar. The idea of Sanskrit is that you are enthused to perform activities that are based on sat. Sanskrit is beautiful language. Sanskrit is Deva Bhasha, the language of the gods. What am I supposed to do about it? They speak in Sanskrit, let them speak. I speak in Hindi and English and Telugu. So only when we are with the Dev, only when we are with Devata, with godly people, that is the only time we'll recite Sanskrit prayers. There, if somebody recites some prayers in local language, oh, no, how can you do that? You have to recite Sanskrit. So it has all become confined to one space, little space of the huge universe of a life. That is an unfortunate thing because the huge universe of our life is based on the idea that I'm the body, I'm not spirit. And that's little space that we get in our lives. There is a faint glimmer of the idea that I'm spirit, not the body. There's a faint glimmer there. It's a very faint glimmer. So Maline Mochanam Pungsam. I don't know. Okay, let's do this. I'll teach you. You recite after me. I'll try and teach you. Afterwards, all I'm looking for is Dakshina. So you give me Dakshina, I'm happy. You have learned something interesting. Sanskrit. You learned something in Sanskrit. Okay. Maline Mochanam Pungsam. Jalasnanam Dine Dine. Sakrit Gita Snanam. Samsara Malanashanam. You could have also, if you wanted, you could have just picked up your smartphone and immediately searched. It would be there online. Maline, M-A-L-I-N-E, space. Look it up. Maline Mochana. M-O-C-A-N-A. It should pop up right now. Did it pop up? About it? Maline Mochanam Pungsam. Please repeat. Jalasnanam Dine Dine. Sakrit Gita Snanam. Samsara Malanashanam. Feels nice? You have it there? Now let us look at the meaning. Okay? Now you have to look at me, not at your smartphones. Because we'll do it in a very, very interesting, interactive way. Maline. Mala. You know what is Mala? Telugu, Hindi. Everyone knows what is Mal? Not Mal. Mal. Unclean. Right? So, Maline, having become unclean. So the word Maline, Mala is in usage in today's times. The next word may not be so much used in our vocabulary, in the various languages that we know, which is Mochana. All right? Have you heard the word mochan somewhere? Sankat mochan. You know what is now? Do you know what is the meaning of mochan? So maline mochana, sankat mochan. One who removes sankat. So maline mochana. Nice, good. Yeah. Maline mochanam pungsam. This word is again not used much. It's like gone away from our regional languages. Pungsam means person. Pungsam means the entity. Pungs. All right. So maline mochanam pungsam. The living entity, the person, is freed from dirt. How? Jala snan. Jala. We've heard of jala. We use that word. Jala means snan. We use the word snan. Jala snan. What is the meaning? Right? Using water to clean ourselves, maybe. Because the word snan has been used. Bathing. Bath. Correct? Dine dine. Then dine dine. Every single day. So maline mochanam pungsam jalasnanam dine dine. Pungsam is the person. A person who becomes dirty physically takes bath every single day to become clean. Make sense? Similarly, sakrit. The word sakrit is no longer used. Sakrit. Sakrit means Costco. Bulk. Bulk. Sakrit means in bulk. All right? So sakrit, there's something that completely, totally sakrit. The object that is in bulk is not being mentioned right now. Sakrit, Gitamritam. Gitamrit. Amrit. You know Amrit? What is Amrit?
Holy water.
Okay. What is Amrit? Very good. What is Amrit? Speaker Amar ho jaye. Amrit. Amara. Amara. Die. Amara. Not die. Amarit. That which can free you from death. What is it? Gitamrit. Sakrit Gitamritam Snanam. So there is a Jala Snanam and there is a Gitamrita Snanam. Jala Snanam, everyone has received training since childhood. Gitamrita Snanam, did we forget our training? Have we taken it to be not practical anymore? Gitamrita Snanam. If one does Gitamrita Snanam just as Jala Snan we do, then the physical body is cleansed. Gitamrita Snanam, Samsara Mala. All the impurities that one accumulates, like tension, anxiety, fear, depression, arrogance, egoism, some of the favorite things that we look for so that we can criticize others, and some of the things that we fall prey to: hunger, thirst, lamentation, bias, envy, jealousy, nostalgia. Some of the things that we fall prey to. This is all called as samsara mala. How many of you feel that envy is healthy? Is envy healthy? To some extent? Good. So if our children are envious of us, it is healthy for them under certain circumstances. And if we are envious of our children, is it in any circumstances? Why? Arrogance, is it healthy? Nostalgia, is it healthy?
Sometimes. Yes. Some nostalgic moment when you just remember your childhood or the so it becomes nostalgic.
So why is it that elders are always telling their children, don't waste your time when they become nostalgic? Am I wrong or am I right? You see how we have built an entire separate universe for things that may not be healthy, but we want to present it as healthy. Correct or wrong? Anything that prevents us from being productive in this moment is unhealthy. Correct or wrong? For a moment, if the heart stops being productive in the present, healthy? If the liver starts being unproductive for a moment, healthy? If the kidneys stop being productive for a moment, healthy? If the brain stops being productive for a single moment, is it healthy? Then how can any moment be healthy for us? Then it is not healthy for our organs. If it is not productive. So how is nostalgia productive? No, sometimes we need to inspire. Why go to a space where there's darkness and you need nostalgia now? Make sense? So samsara mala is a very, very queer way that humans find themselves unique mediums to be heard. Very unique mediums to be heard. I was walking down the street and they did not even look at me. I'm not even going to talk to them. Unique way to be heard. I mean, imagine if you were a businessman or a businesswoman and your business depended on every single person around you as a customer. Would you do that? So we found a way now to be unproductive, and therefore let our consciousness be sullied. Samsara mala. So what can purify that samsara mala? Sakrat Gita Amrit Snanam Samsara Malanasham. If there is any process that can, in which we can have hope that it will be powerful enough to rid us of all such contaminations, samsara, all such contaminations. And that is what the Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be. It is not supposed to be just a book to be worshipped. It is not supposed to be just something that you commit to your memory. Those are wonderful things. We should worship. We should commit it to our memory. However, the reason Gita was, or the message of the Bhagavad Gita is still relevant today is because it destroys samsara. The real impact of the Bhagavad Gita would be when one realizes that everything that one has been doing, seemingly productive, is not completely healthy. Would you want to invest in something that after 10 years you're going to lose? After 20 years you're going to lose? Or would you want to invest into it, even if there's going to be a loss later on, as a bridge, a stepping stone? For every other activity in this material world, in our life, it ends. As soon as childhood is gone, something ends. The teens are gone, something ends. Those dreams end. Your 20s and your 30s, they're gone, end. So whatever you do during all these decades, various decades in your life, they are just a bridge that should lead you to a goal. And if those bridges are not healthy enough, or if those bridges have many exits leading you to different places, then most probably will be lost in life's journey. So my only request is, please, let spirit prevail and let rituals enable the spirit to prevail. So the next time, our self-esteem should be such that even if we do not declare to the world on social media that we did puja today, or even if we did declare it to the world that we did puja today, it should be just a dream. It came for a moment, it's gone. One should not try and dwell on it, because then one becomes unproductive. So what is the best way to be productive? The tongue can chant holy names, the ears can hear the holy names, the eyes can see holy things. When I say holy, I mean that which is committed to spirit. So if you are able to see beyond just the physical form, husband, wife, boy, girl, girl, child, boy, child, mother, father, friend, distant friend, relative, if you can see, go beyond that and have the vision to see the Lord in every existence. That is holy. Just as when you have a book, the Bhagavad Gita, why do you give it respect? Why do you, even if somehow or the other, you find it in a place that you feel is not appropriate, why do you immediately pick it up? Because you connected with spirit. You connected with consciousness. You connected with that which is Satchidanand. You connected with God. If we are able to do that with all our relationships, husband for wife, wife for husband, parents for children, children for parents, be with pets, pets may not be able, we may not understand if they are able to do it or not. With trees, with the house, then that vision keeps us invested in spirit. Therefore, there is so much stress in Sanatana Dharma that you should chant the holy names of the Lord. If, for example, I'll try to explain what it means. 2 plus 2 is what? 2 plus 2, anyone? 2 plus 2, everyone. What is the use of that? What is the use of it? Practically no use of it. But when you have 2 rupees or $2 and someone gives you $2 or $4 has utility in your life. When you have 2 houses and they invest in 2 more houses, now the 2 plus 2, 4 is productive in your life. Correct? Otherwise, 2 plus 2 is simply useless burden in our life. Make sense? Similarly, the holy names. It's just like the way we treat 2 plus 2. Oh, 2 plus 2 is so important. Bacha, you have to learn it. What is 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2 is 4. Always remember it. But practically, it's useless unless and until you apply it. So what is the application of chanting of the holy names? To develop the vision to see spirit. In a few situations in life and grow from there. So at least you see spirit in your little altar. Now expand from there. Let's see spirit in the kitchen. Expand from there. See spirit in your main house, main room, your hall. Then expand it to your office space if you're working from. Expand so that now you're able to see spirit in an entire house. Now, in the house, we have invested in our existence of being spirit. And it is practically possible by the simple process of just chanting. Because when we chant, it gives us an opportunity to hear and understand the meaning of what words we are hearing. It at least gives us that opportunity. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Please try and participate in these gatherings, meetings as and when possible. Because constantly this is what will be discussed here. It's like when you're young and somebody tells you that you have to take extra coaching classes. They only teach from the time you enter the room till the time the class gets over. They are only teaching that subject matter. That is important for you. Isn't that how we encourage our children? You have to pay attention there. So try and participate in these gatherings. As long as these gatherings invest your time and the time of this gathering in spirit. But the day it becomes a ritual, you know how it becomes a ritual? Oh, can I do this at my house too? All right. So what are the things that I should be mainly considering? They made all of that food preparation there. This is what we should also cook. Now it has become ritual. Not that you should not cook properly. But if that is what becomes the main focus of the gathering, that they cooked this, we cooked that, what are you going to cook this week? Then we are investing in that which is not spirit. All right? So we'll stop. Any questions? Or anyone would like to share the comments?
Relate spirituality with our food habits.
Just by trying to be very grateful. And in whatever language you know how to be grateful, be grateful. Grateful for the food that we have received, grateful for the ability to eat and digest. and grateful for the opportunity to share. So different customs are there. If you want to accept those customs, accept those customs. Again, the customs give us an opportunity to invest in spirit. Customs are not supposed to be rituals. Like somewhere, I was participating in some event somewhere, and some elderly person said, "This is not correct." We are like, "What is not correct?" Well, when you make a food offering, it should be in small, small vessels, not this big vessels. I'm like, okay, now I understand what a ritual is. When it comes down to that what kind of vessels can we make an offering in steel vessels, or should it be silver or gold? When it comes down to that, then we should try to analyze whether the customs are becoming ritualistic, or are we paying attention to why we are doing what we are doing. I'm not saying that you should not be offering vessels of gold. I'm not saying that. But when it comes down to just that, then one has to reconsider. Make sense? So food, grateful. In Sanatana Dharma, how do we express gratitude? We first make the offering to the person that has been instrumental in us receiving that food. And who's that person? That person whose agency is material nature. That Bhagavan. Bhagavan did not grow it somewhere and then just hand it over to you. Bhagavan made an arrangement in nature so that we could receive it. So when we make an offering, that is what we remember. We remember the earth that helps us get that food. She works so hard. And the words and the elements like rain, water, wind, the sun, heat. So when we make a food offering, what is called as bhoga, the idea is we are so insignificant that for our food, the wind has to work, the sun has to work, the worms have to work, the insects have to work for pollination, the earth has to work. And we forget that we have to offer gratitude. So we make an offering to Bhagavan because, just as when you go to someone's house, there may be 5 members in the house. But when you want to give a family gift, you give it to the family head. So since Bhagavan is the person who has instituted this Virat Roop, this magnificent material nature, we offer it to him. Bhoga. We offer thanks and a gratitude. And we say, first you have, see if what we've prepared is good for us or not. And once that is done, then we accept it as prasad. You know what is prasad? One understanding of prasad is prakrisht vastu sadhyati iti prasad. Just by accepting prasad, you can easily sadhyati, achieve prakrisht, someone great, God. So what is prasad? Just by eating prasad, one can achieve the shelter of God. For us, what is prasad? Bhagwan ka diya hua hai. And what are we supposed to sadhyati, achieve? Oh, we are supposed to achieve. I thought we are supposed to eat. So Sanskrit, as I said, at certain time in the past, these words were very commonly used. And hence it was easy for people to relate to it. And they would have prasad, this would be their consciousness. Like when you file taxes, the word taxes has meaning. When you file taxes, does it have a meaning? Do you think 500 years ago this word had any meaning? It is kara. The word was kara. That which you are supposed to give back. Kara, karta, kriti. It comes from that dhatu. But now that word has lost its meaning. Tax. So prasad is an act by which one has the opportunity to achieve God. One can also lose the opportunity. One may eat prasad, but one may lose the opportunity. One does not make an effort to achieve God. Then someone will say, "तो क्या प्रसाद खाकर भी तो उनका वही फिर स्वभाव नहीं क्या प्रसाद का फायदा है अगर कमजोर व्यक्ति को अगर somebody who is not able to digest ghee, if you give ghee, do you think that ghee is going to help that person? No. So, bhoga and prasad. Whatever one eats, it should be offerable to the Supreme Lord. If there is a doubt in our mind, चढ़ा सकते हैं क्या भगवान को? खुद भी मत खाइएगा. Because if you eat that food, it will not give you an opportunity to achieve God. So eat food that is healthy for the body and let it be prasad in the form of prasad so that you can be in good consciousness. Is it all right? Anything? Anyone else has any questions? Yes.
There was something about Ekadashi. I celebrated and tomorrow we are having this Ekadashi. I want to have some knowledge because I have heard my mom keeps fast for every Ekadashi. And I don't know the root cause or the main thing why we celebrate it.
It is good. Since our body constitution is such that it gets affected by planetary motions. Does it? Does a body, the way a body is constituted, do you think it gets affected by the celestial movements of the bodies out there like planets and stars? Does it get affected or no?
Yes.
It gets. Simple example, when the sun is too hot, it affects us. Isn't it? When it is a very clear night, it's very cold. Correct? So we get affected. The closest bodies that are to us on earth are and very huge to have an impact on us are the sun and the moon. The moon goes through various phases where the amount of light it reflects goes on either decreasing or increasing. Yes? So when it increases, it is going to have an effect, and when it decreases, it's going to have an effect. Light, photosensitivity, energy. Make sense? So when the moon is going through these phases, typically somewhere there are going to be some toxins created within our body, because the body would try to adjust. So chemical reactions will take place. So around the 10th or 11th day, either when it is waxing or it is waning, the photosensitivity effect of the reflection from the moon is the maximum. Now the Puranas will tell you this in a story form. They'll say that every day of the Paksha, the fortnight, is different because the moon is either reducing or it is increasing in terms of its luminosity. So every day is different. So every day has a Devata. But this 11th day did not have a Devata. Why? Because no one wanted to be held responsible for when most toxins would be there in the body. So previous to it being called Ekadashi, it was called as Maladin. This is a Puranic story. Alright? So the day went to Bhagavan Hari and said, I am depressed. And I don't have anyone who can protect me, give me shelter. Why did you create me? So Bhagavan Hari said, don't worry, I will be the Devata for you. Therefore, Ekadashi becomes the day of Hari. Alright? And the Purana would say that the benediction for this day is that anyone who does fasting on this day gets the blessings of Lord Hari. The idea is that this day belongs to Lord Hari because of how the Puranas describe it. So you can remember Krishna or Hari on this day. At the same time, by fasting, you are creating a situation where the toxins, which are normally because of the effect, photosensitive effect of the moon, it should normally be there, they cannot proliferate unnecessarily. It became customary to follow this practice. And not only this practice, fasting, not only on Ekadashi, there are certain days of the week they'll start fasting. Same reason. There will be a Devata or a Devi for that week. And one day a week, you allow your body to detoxify. At the same time, it is not just the body that is important, your consciousness is important, so you connect the superior entity by meditating, by prayers, by doing some kind of austerity, where you're focused more on your consciousness being connected to a higher principle than simply taste, smell, etc. Fragrance, all of these things.
And it's true that you don't eat rice and that.
Yes, because grains provide you energy. At the same time, grains also create a lot of waste products that has to be excreted from the body. So anything that is excreted from the body is toxic. Hence, grains we don't eat. And in today's times, what is the best way to detoxify? Juices, isn't that the idea? Or simply water therapy. So sometimes Ekadashi is only eating fruits. Juice therapy. Fruits. Or sometimes on Ekadashi, you only have water. Water therapy. No grains. That is a custom. As I said, it was not just the Ekadashi that was followed previously. It It was also a particular day of the week. So somebody would fast on Tuesdays. Somebody would fast on Thursdays. Somebody would fast on Mondays. Somebody would fast on Saturdays. And it is not just the Ekadashi day of the fortnight. Some people would also fast on Purnima and Amavasya. Same reason, because the maximum effect either of zero light or full light again creates, it instigates your body to create metabolism, it affects your metabolism. Then we link it to, the Puranas will link it to a Devata, because there is a Devata. So we make it spiritual. All right. So if you properly do Ekadashi, it is very healthy for the body, it's healthy for the mind, and the consciousness is also streamlined. Okay. You're welcome. Anything else? We'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur